Okay, so here is the quiz we took last week. And the first question is asking to create a summary frequency distributions. First, when we see the data, we see qualitative data. So for the classes, is going to be our absence, the U's, unis, the I's, family problem, the F's, and then other causes, the O's. So we're just going to counting how many do we have. We have 1U, 2U, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 1I, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have a F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then O, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the question number 1. And number 2, we have the frequency distribution summaries here. And then they want to find the class widths, the midpoints, the class boundaries for the class of 235.0 to 265.9, which is this one. So for the class width is going to be the same for any class, for any classes. So we can using any two lower limits and subtract them. So I'm going to use 235.0 minus 204.0. And that will give me 31. So that's the class width. The midpoint is going to be different from classes to classes. For this particular class, 235 to 265.9, I'm going to using 265.9 minus or plus 235 and divide it by 2. I'm going to do my calculations on the calculator. Uh, 265.9 plus 235 equal to 500.9 divided by 2. I got 250.45. Now the last one is the class boundaries. The class boundaries is, I'm going to using a different one, is the gap or the midpoint between the upper limit from the previous one to the lower limit of the next one. So those two circle that number. But since we're talking about the class 235 to 265, I'm going to using 234.9 and 235. So 235.0 minus 234.9. I got the gap, 235 minus 234.9, which is 0.1. That's the gap. Then the gap divided by 2 give me 0.05. So the boundaries is actually going to be 234.95. So I'm going to box it since I have so many numbers here. Okay, so if I'm going to find the boundaries for any other classes, so this is the list of boundaries. I will have 11.95. That's the first one. 141.95. That's the second one. 172.95. 203.95. 234.95. If you want to, depending on the question, depending on the graph, you can stick within 79.95 for the lowest one, which is all the way before the 80.0, and 265.95, which is all the way to the end. But those two are more option. Okay, so that's number 2. For number 3, is talking about the monthly charges for the cell phones for the past 12 months. We're going to construct a frequency distributions with 4 classes. Okay, with 4 classes, we can identify the smallest one is $7 something. The largest number is 18.24. So I'm going to thinking about I'm going to round it. So my class width is going to be using the largest one, I will say 19, minus the smallest one, which is 7. And I wanted to have a 4 classes, so divided by 4, which I got 12 divided by 4, so 3. The class width is a 3. So it's a nice whole number, so I'm going to use in class width of 3. For that reasons, I'm just going to keep as whole numbers to easier for me to this is the charge. This is easier to calculate. So I started from 7, adding 3, which my next class start at 10. Adding another 3, my next class starts 13, 16, and 19. But I do not need 19 because number 1, I already have 4 classes. Number 2 is 16 will end to 1899, where my largest data is 18.24, which is within the 16 to 18.99. So I'm going to fill it in 9.99, 12.99, 15.99. Is 99 or 9.99, 12.99, 15.99, 18.99 because of the information we're talking about is money. So money to the 2 decimals after 2 decimal places. Now we're going to looking for the frequency, which I have 7 to about 10. I have 1, 2. 10 to 13, I have 1, 2, 3. 13 to 16, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 16 to 18, I have 1, 2. That's my frequency distributions. Now for the histograms, hopefully I have enough space to squeeze in. I'm going to start from 7. My next one is going to be 10, 13, 16, and I do need to have a 19 to end it. I'm going to have increment of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just eyeballing them. 7 to 10, I have 2. 10 to 13, I have 3. 13 to 16, I have 5. And 16 to 19, I have 2. Okay, so that's the frequency distribution. This is the monthly charge. and that's the frequency. Okay, so now move on to number 4. I only have 5 more minutes. Number 4, I have frequency distributions already, and this one is just more like raw data information. So we have frequencies basing on every single values, but this time we think this is too general. We wanted to construct 2 different type of frequency distributions. One with a class of 4, another with a class of 6. So the lowest number is 10, the highest number is 21. For class width, if I want the 4 one, I'm going to using 21 minus 10 divided by 4, which is 11 divided by 4, 11 divided by 4, 2.75. So I'm going to round it to 3. Okay, so for round it to 3, my values this time is going to be from 10 to 13. So it will end to 12. 13 to 16 by adding 3. 16 to 19 by adding 3. 19 to 21 by adding 3. And 21 to 24, but we do not need it. I think I counted wrong. So 19, this is going to be 22. So I counted wrong. Okay, 19 plus 3 is 22, which this is the one we do not want it, so I'm just going to end it to 21. We have 4 classes. Now I'm just going to adding the frequencies. From 10 to 12, we have 11. From 13 to 15, we have 28, 32. 16 to 18, 9, 25. And 19 to 21, we have 18. Then for the histograms, this one I'm just going to, because I only have 3 minutes, I'm going to just eyeballing it. I have from 10 to 13 to 16 to 19 and at 22. We have about 11 datas, 32 datas, just a little bit. 25 datas, 18 datas. Okay, now if I'm going to do it with class of 6 or 6 classes, my class width is going to be about 2. So I'm going to grouping them to 10 to 12, so 11, 12 to 14, so 13, 16, 18, 20, and 22, which is the one we do not want it. Then the frequency is going to be 4, 25, 14, 9, 26, 8. Still really quickly eyeballing them. I will have from 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. We have about 4, 25, 14, 9, 26, and 8. So you can see, describe the shape So you can see from this one, we